What's up, guys? Side Deadweight here, doing the 2023 Summerslam prediction and thoughts video. Guess we'll start with Gunther and Drew McIntyre. I'm gonna say Gunther retains on this one. I do think that whenever it's time for Gunther to lose the title, I think Drew's a very strong candidate to be the one to do it. I just don't think it's time yet. We're too close to Gunther breaking the record for the longest running IC champion. So I don't see why they would do it this close. Maybe for shock factor, or maybe they just don't want to break the reign. Maybe they just wanted him to be number 2. Who knows? We'll find out, I guess. But I think, I don't think it's confirmed or anything, but maybe they do Clash of the Castle at the Castle 2 this year, and they get another match there, and that's when Drew kind of gets his big home field, front of the crowd title win. Not necessarily as big as him winning the title at WrestleMania or in front of the main title in front of his hometown, or home country, whatever you want to call it. But still, I think it'd be a pretty good moment, and he needs something. Could we get a possible Damian cash in? Let's say Finn wins, Damian cashes in on this. Oh, Judgment Day got all the gold. I don't want it, but you never know. I don't think Drew came back, though, not to win. That's why this is going to be an iffy one. But I do think Drew is a team player, and he knows, he might not get this win right now, but he'll get one when it's right, when the time's right. But how long did they tell him that before the time is over, and it never happened? Some closing thoughts with this match. Does Riddle get involved at some point? He's been highly involved in this Gunther feud for a little while. I have seen some speculation that maybe Riddle comes to try to help Drew win, and he costs Drew the match. We get the Drew heel turn, him turning on Riddle, even though they're not a team, so it's not really him turning on him, but you know what I mean. He turns heel, beats up the face, and then Randy returns finally and saves him. Could it happen? Yeah, I could see it. But Randy and Drew for Randy's return feud, be good, but I kind of want Randy to come back and say, yeah, I'm ready to take on Roman, or something along those lines, Guess we'll see. So yeah, going with Gunther retaining. Let's see, next match. And these are in no order, really. They're just the order I wrote them down in on my paper. And, just as they came to me as I was writing them, But Logan Paul and Ricochet has been, I'm pretty sure, confirmed to be the first match. So, not going in any kind of order. But next match is, on the list is Shayna and Ronda in an MMA rules match. Not quite sure what exactly that means just yet, but I guess we'll see. For overall prediction, I'm going with Shayna on this one. I do like both women. I mean, I know I wouldn't say it's a hot take, but I know a lot of people don't really like Ronda, but I think she's got some pretty good moves, and she was pretty hot with the crowd at first. I mean, she kind of fizzled out, I guess. And there's her backstage attitude, it appears. She kind of screw the fans, but I mean, I think if they let the two women, have a nice 15-minute strong hitting match, it'll be better than people expect. But I do think that Shayna wins. I mean, there's a lot of rumors of Ronda leaving, so if that's the case, it would only make sense for Ronda to lose here, I feel like. I'm fine with either one of them winning, but I just think Shayna needs it, and this could be the perfect way to really not reinvent Shayna, but re-evaluate and re-elevate her, maybe, with some good terms. Because she was one of, I can't remember if she's the longest reigning NXT champion or one of them. I know she had some kind of long run over there. And then they brought her over to the main roster, and it's kind of like, she ain't done a whole lot, you know. So if she goes toe to toe with Ronda and they have a good match, maybe she makes Ronda tap. I mean, she is the magician submission. Excuse me, I just messed that all up. She is the submission magician. So they could keep remind us why, have her make Ronda tap. I don't think Ronda tapped yet. I don't know. I mean, the only person she would have tapped to maybe would have been Charlotte, I guess. And I don't remember if she has. But if she hadn't, that'd be a good thing for Shayna. First person to make Ronda tap. She made Ronda leave. Like, it would be good for her character, I think. That's really all I got to say on this. I'm hoping I'm hoping Shayna wins by submission in a good fall match. Next up, we got what will be probably the wow match of the night. Like, oh, look at that. Cool, crazy spot. Logan Paul versus Ricochet. Not really sure how I feel about this match in general, to be honest. Like, it's whatever. But I think Logan needs a win. He lost at Money in the Bank. He lost at Royal Rumble, Crown Jewel, Mania. Like, it's time for him to get a win. He has 2 wins. Like, I think him and Miz beat Dom and Ray, and I think he beat the Miz one-on-one, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, he needs another win, you know. And it's Ricochet. A win or a loss here is not really going to do anything for him. If he wins, it's not like, oh, Ricochet, oh, my boy, you're fighting Seth for the title now. Like, granted, I could see Logan on the opposite side. I could see Logan Paul using his win to do that. Like, oh, I just beat this guy. Now I'm going to fight you, Seth. But it's beyond the point. Logan needs to win here. And Ricochet can still come off strong if they make it a hard-fought match and it's not just a spot fest. Obviously, there's going to be a bunch of spots in it. Like, we've seen that from their interactions so far, but they still need to make this a good little lengthy back and forth. Like, both of them get some good offense in. Maybe Ricochet can show some more technicality as opposed to the high flying. I think this is a pretty clean match too. Could see Logan trying to cheat, but I don't think there's like any interference or anything. No Jake Paul, which that's why the match actually is going on first. I think it said Logan is leaving to go to Jake Paul's fight afterwards. So yeah, I doubt Jake Paul's interfering. We got the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus I mean, does anyone really expect Cody to lose here? Like, I don't feel like that's really a question. Like, it's more on how he wins, not who wins. And this is just my personal opinion, but I mean, I feel like his character's already suffering from this prolonged feud with Brock. It should have been a one and done, if we're being real. So I think a loss here would only make it worse. Like, nobody's that hyped for this feud, and then you lose it overall. Or I forget their records. I think it's 1-1. Yeah, because Cody couldn't respond, and then he got the roll-up victory. So yeah, it's 1-1. And Brock doesn't need the win here. Like, what does the win here do? Because he can't fight Roman. And, I mean, if he really wants the world title shot, I'm pretty sure he can just go attack Seth and be like, let's fight. I do think this needs to be a brutal, brutal match with on both ends, both of them getting a lot of deadly offense in. But I think Cody needs to have a decisive win. No tricks, no roll-ups, did he really get the win there? None of that. He needs to hit him with the crossroads. I was about to say the Cody cutter. I mean, that works too, but crossroads, 1, 2, 3. I'm not saying just one crossroads, but like the final pinfall needs to be a 1, 2, 3. Or if they really want to make Cody look a little dominant, have him knock Brock out. Like, Brock doesn't respond. That would be kind of fitting, but I don't think Brock... If that was the case, then I don't think Brock takes that as the end of the feud. He wants more after that. Which, speaking of that... I mean, not really speaking of that, but I'm kind of surprised that this is not a stipulation match, like an ambulance match or the bull rope match, last man standing. A lot of different little stipulations would have worked with this. Like the dog collar match, I think that's what I meant instead of a bull rope match, excuse me. But Cody needs to win here. It needs to be decisive and strong. And yeah, I mean, only takeaway question I got is what would really be the benefit if Brock wins? I don't think there is one, so I don't think he does. Pretty simple. Alright, we are moving into our big three. I mean, not big three. Yes, big three because it's the big main titles and then the women's title. But I'm saying big three because this is where I really kind of got a little carried away and ranting, and I got a lot to discuss really with these three matches. Yeah, so just bear with me. Next match is on the list is Seth versus Finn. Man, Seth and Finn's always a hard match to call, because either one of them could win and it'd be justifiable, and you don't really bat an eye at it. Like, oh, Seth won? Okay, cool. Oh, Finn won? Dope. But, and with this match, there's more at stake here, I feel, than just the title. I feel like this is kind of the make or break point for Finn. Maybe not as, a character or a career, obviously. I'm not saying Finn loses, he retires or anything. But I think that with the Judgment Day, it's kind of make or break for Finn. Rhea has the title. Dom has a title. Priest has the briefcase, which that's not a guaranteed title, but it's the closest thing besides having one to having a guaranteed title. And then what does Finn get? Nothing. He's got nothing right now. Hold on, I lost myself. Yeah, between that and the tension with Priest, I think if Finn loses, then they kick him out. An idea I had is that maybe Seth wins, Priest cashes in and wins pretty quickly. I mean, Seth puts up a little fight. It's Seth, so he puts a fight up. But Priest wins. We got the new world champion. And Finn gets visibly upset, right? You can tell he's mad. Priest tells Finn, he's had 3 shots, and you couldn't get it done. It's my time now. And then that's kind of where it could branch. They could turn on Finn and kick him out right then and there. Or Priest could tell him, you either accept it and follow, or you get lost, you're either with it or against it, type of thing. You're one of us or not. You're with us or against us. And then it could branch off, maybe Finn walks off and he just leaves. Or he falls in line until the inevitable turn by Finn to get the title from Damian somehow. A couple little options they could do if they go that route. That's just me brainstorming. Um, Sorry, I'm trying to get back to where I was. Um, let's see. I do think Seth's better as the title chaser as versus the champion. Where I feel Finn is the opposite. Like, I like him better as a champion as opposed to chasing for the title. But maybe that's just a face and a heel thing. Like the faces are better being the chaser, heels are better being the champ. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Anyone watching? As much as I want Finn to win, I think they go with Seth. A lot of that though is based on the idea, which I've seen it floated around online. Like there's rumors they want to do Seth versus Roman at Survivor Series, which I don't think would be for the titles. I think it'd just be a bragging rights type of match, head of the brand type thing. But I'm here for that, and I do partially use that as my reasoning for why Seth keeps the title here. And then also, hold on, there's no also. But it's pretty unpredictable, Maybe, what do I know? Maybe they make Finn win, and Judgment Day has all the belts, like in the briefcase. They dominate all shows, I'm here for that. But I'm still going with am I going with Seth or Finn? I think Seth wins, but I want Finn to win. That's the best way I can put this one. Sorry for rambling a little long on this one. It's just a lot of unpredictability, man. Right, second to last match here. Asuka versus Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair. I'm pretty sure this match is going to be fire when it's all said and done. And I'm happy that Asuka's the champion, I'm glad she got her moment. But am I the only one really not invested in this and feeling it? Like, in the match and the whole feud itself? Like, maybe it's just me, but it's just not doing much for me. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 100% like, because I'm not invested. I'm not 100% up to the details, but it's just not catching me. But here's how I would book it. This is not how I'm saying it's gonna go, but it's just my kind of fantasy booking with this match. I'd have the match start with Io Sky cashing in. Have her cash in, make it a fatal 4-way. I would have Io win the match, pinning Asuka. She becomes a champion, so we get a fresh new champ. Always not always a plus, but like building the future. Cool, awesome, positivity. And that would start Asuka and Io's feud. Like, they've teased that a couple times, and people have been wanting, so good way to start that. And then, from what I've seen with this the feud so far, like, it kind of feels like Charlotte's trying to be kind of nice to Bianca. Like, I don't think it's a real niceness, but it's kind of like, oh, we both don't like Asuka, so I'm gonna watch it back a little bit, type of thing, and make sure they don't jump you, that type of thing. So something happens between them where they end up costing each other a match, kind of, or maybe Bayley gets involved. and interferes with and distracts them. But something starts a feud with them. So then we have two new feuds, a new champion, future positivity once again. And if they have Io win clean in this situation, which I would do. It makes her look very strong. She just got a victory over Asuka, Bianca, and Charlotte. What a better way to establish your new future. I'm trying to think of the word because new and future don't go together. Like the new champion that's ushering in a future. Like kind of like what a better way to start it than looking that strong. If she wins clean. But I'm not sure with Bayley, With Bayley, it's just a very wild card situation. Let's see what front and back on this. But maybe if they want to establish Io as a face or like a strong champion, they have her send Bayley to the back or something before the match, and then that could lead to tensions with them down the road, more tension with them down the road, But as for how I think the match actually plays out, as much as I like Asuka and I wanted to have a lengthy, meaningful reign, I think they give it to Charlotte here, y'all. And I know that's gonna piss a lot of people off, but let's be real. Charlotte hasn't had a title since April. That's like 10 years for her, it seems like. She doesn't just come back and come around just to lose title feuds. So, she's like, yeah, I'll come back, but I'm winning the title. Or she puts over Io, And, I mean, it's not going to be Bianca. She just had it for over a year. So why would they do that and then give it right back? That just would be stupid kind of on their part. And I mean, like I said, I love Asuka, but I don't think she's doing much for the title right now. Not saying Charlotte will do more, but Asuka's title reign is just kind of flat right now, and it could be time to switch it up. Hold on. Oh yeah, last little oddball theory that I had when I was writing this. Maybe we get the Bianca heel turn. Maybe she cheats or does something kind of dirty to get the win here, and we get the boo from the crowds, and we get a new attitude from her, which would kind of align if Ford and Dawkins are gonna join Bobby Lashley and to this Hurt Business 2.0 that people are predicting. I see them as heels. So, maybe Bianca and Ford both turn heel around the same time. That's just me spitballing, though. Opinions. Everyone's got them. That's really all I got to say on that match. And now, last but not least, we have Tribal Combat. It's the big fight of the night. Hell, it's really the big fight of the summer, if we're being real. Like, Roman always has big fight matches, it feels like. Well, not always, but majority of the time these days. But this is going to be as big as it gets, I think, man. Anything goes. Roman versus Jay for the title. For the undisputed title. And a title of Tribal Chief. So it's not just the undisputed title, people. It's the Tribal Chief's title. Lot at stake here. Lot at stake. We all know the story here, so I'm not going to sit here and recap the story. Like, if you don't know the story, and this happens to be the first damn wrestling video you've tuned into that's talking about this, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's your algorithm's junk. But okay. Before we get into this actual match, how it plays out and stuff, there's a couple points and pre-match things that I want to run by and discuss, like things they need to do and whatnot. I mean, they relate to the match, but it's not necessarily in the match, so I've kind of made a little separate point in sections. But first thing I want to bring up is, do any of the tribal elders show up during this match? Like, are they situated around the ring? Do we have an actual table with them all set up watching? I think that would add to the atmosphere and the big fight feel. Like, even if it's just a couple of them sitting around at ringside, I like the table idea better. It's very fitting, but either one would work. Um, it's perfect time for them to do that. Like, they've talked about the elders a lot, and they don't really do nothing with them. And maybe put them on commentary. Like, and I don't know a lot of the Samoan family, so the only one I know really by name is Rikishi. So that's the only example I got. But Rikishi on commentary during this match, adding some personal touches, like, that'd be awesome. Like, oh yeah, I remember when Joe and I forget Jay's real name. I don't think it's really Jay. It might be, but Joe and Jay fighting when they were kids. It looks just like that, or something, like, or Jay doesn't move. Like, oh, I taught him that back when he was a teenager, or something like that. He could add a lot of personal touches to this very personal match. And it would just add to the seriousness here if they had some of them out there. Let's see. Second thing, they have to have dope ass entrances. Both of them. Both of them need to have like best entrances they've ever had. Very flashy, very dramatic. Roman, he needs to have more than just lots of pyro. I was kind of thinking like maybe he gets like a Samoan choir or something out there, and they kind of chant or hum his song, because there's no words that he wouldn't sing it, but just a bunch of Samoans out there just like humming that shit. It could just add some intensity, I feel like. It's really the best I got on Roman's. But Jay, his entrance is a whole nother point on its own, kind of, but this is the perfect time for him to bring back the old Uso gimmick with the face paint and the tribal dance. I'd have him come out to the old Uso theme, and he would rock the red and black face paint, bloodline colors, adds to the story. Have him do the whole little Samoan tribal dance that him and Jimmy used to do. And then I hadn't seen it in a minute, so a little fuzzy on it, but pretty sure at the end of it they would do like a high five to the ground type thing, like jump and like slam kind of thing, and like they get some fire when that happens. When that happens, boom, it switches to current Uso theme, so it's like a mix up, I think that'd be pretty cool. And I also think maybe Jay has dancers out with him and they do the dance with him, or maybe some fire spinners. I don't know. They just really need to get into it. And I just picture like a bunch of some fire spinners, that kind of stuff. Let's see, you got okay, that's it on that point. And then the last side point here with this one is does Roman send Paul and Solo to the back? I feel like with the whole honor thing they're trying to put with Roman and Jay with this match, that excuse me, Roman should send Paul and Solo to the back, or if they do the whole elders thing, have them at the table, have them at the end of the table or something, watching along. I'm still sure even if they're at the table or they get sent to the back, I'm sure they still interfere at some point. We've been in this situation so many times. Oh yeah, and then I had a little side note relating to that, sorry. But maybe Rikishi stops Solo from interfering. Like, if Rikishi's there, maybe Solo comes out, or he's already out there and tries to interfere, and we get, an enforcer role from Rikishi, stopping him. And then that could kind of branch off. Maybe Solo spikes his dad, or maybe his dad hits him. Or maybe Solo's just kind of like, whoa, you're taking their side and not mine, like referring to Jay. Like, you're trying to stop me from saving Roman, and you're saving Jay. Like, I could see it. It's kind of like they're both enforcers, you know? Okay, now getting into the actual match predictions. Sorry about ranting about a bunch of side stuff there, but I mean, it's just a lot of things they could do with this match that I want to see. The match needs to be very brutal, and yeah, it needs to be very brutal. And other than that, like, I just feel like we get a pretty typical Roman match here. Like, I mean, a lot of his matches are always kind of the same layout, but I just, other than them both just brutalizing each other, I don't see a whole lot of need for it to be different. Like, because they're always good matches. There's a lot of good storytelling in the ring, and in ring psychology, but there's also going to be a lot of finishers, you know, a lot of spears, a lot of super kicks. We'll get the ref bombs. We'll get a lot of 2.999 counts. Yeah, the biggest question will be, besides the winners, how will the ref get knocked out? You know, like, other than that, the match going to be pretty cookie cutter for them. Like, I mean, yeah, it's anything goes, but like, we're gonna see a few table spots, and I don't feel like nothing too crazy. Like, unless they really do invoke the brutality. If they do, then we need to see a bunch of, maybe some barbed wire. I doubt they'll do that, but like, we just need to see a lot of aggressive brutality with this whole tribal combat. Like, Roman needs to choke him with the damn thing he wears on his neck. I don't know how to say that word, but hello, I don't know if that's the right word. But like, choke him out with that, or they rip the ropes off the post and they're choking on each other with those. Something. They get the fire spinners fire and burn each other alive. Hell. Sorry, I know that's a little far fetched, but they need to get brutal. That's the big thing. Okay, and then this for the actual finish to the match, and I've been saying this from the time Jimmy got hurt, assaulted or beat up, and like, oh, he's injured. But I think we see the odds stacked against Jay, right? Maybe just through Roman's pure strength and brutality, or the numbers game with Solo, right? But all of a sudden, Jimmy's music hits, or Jimmy just runs down to the ring, something like that. Like, oh my God, Jimmy! Oh, awesome! But yeah, he runs down to the ring to help Jay. And here's where it can kind of branch. But originally, and the way I still think it plays out, is we think Jimmy is about to help Jay finally win. We're all already about to jump out of our seats because they're setting Roman up for the double super kick. Solo's nowhere to be found, or he's knocked out, or something. We are all like, we know what's coming, and then bam, Jimmy super kicks Jay. Boom. I just blew your mind, I know. But yeah, Jimmy super kicks fucking Jay for Roman to win. Hold on, gotta get back to my notes. But the way it could branch, and I could also see Jimmy attacking them both, and Solo if needed, and then he either walks away, leaving Roman left to slowly crawl and get the pin on Jay. And just my reasoning with that is partially because the Usos have went on record to say they do want to have a feud in a WrestleMania match with each other. In WrestleMania 40, I believe it's 40, is in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. So that means WWE loves doing stuff like that. Oh, the brothers fighting in the city of brotherly love. That's a perfect tagline. And I agree, it's pretty good. I mean, don't make it catchier than me, but that's a good idea. That's my main reasoning. And then the fact that they've made it such a prominent point that Jimmy's injured. Jimmy's going to be out for the foreseeable future. They're keeping him off until SummerSlam. He returns regardless at SummerSlam, whether it's really to turn on Jay or not. He returns, but unless there's like a legitimate injury here, maybe there is, but I haven't seen anything about that, so I'm assuming it's storyline. But damn, what was I about to say? But oh yeah, reason number 2 is this whole time Jimmy's been injured, Jay hasn't mentioned him once. Like, they hadn't said anything about him checking on his brother, or him wishing him well, or I'm doing this for you. None of that. It's just all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to be the tribal chief. I want the titles. I want you, Roman. Which, yeah, he hurt his brother, so I get it. But, like, you ain't checking up on your brother. Your brother's going to find some resentment in that. Oh, I got hurt, and you didn't care. You cared more about this title and the title of tribal chief and beating Roman. I see how it is. And they hadn't done it so far, so I doubt they're going to do it with such little time left. But they used to show people in the hospital for promos and stuff, right? So why didn't they show Jimmy in the hospital any? Good promo could be Jimmy being in the hospital. And if they want to add to this whole Jimmy betraying Jay story, have Roman visit Jimmy in the hospital. Maybe plant some seeds. Not even that. It's just a sincere cousin-to-cousin visit. Like, and we kind of get a little sympathy for Roman. And we kind of see, like, maybe he wasn't that crazy and bad. But we don't see Jay visit the hospital. That's the key point here. Jay doesn't visit his brother any in the hospital, and Jimmy resents him for that. I think that's where the turn comes from. Or maybe Jimmy just wants to be the tribal chief himself, and he wants to take Jay out. I'm going to be the one to beat Roman. Nah, Jay. Maybe, but that's just my take. I think 100% that Roman retains. And I think it's because of Jimmy. Whether it's on purpose or accident, maybe he goes to kick Roman and hits Jay. You never know. But I think he on purpose hits Jay with the super kick. And then as I was writing this down, I came up with another little scenario. Since this is tribal combat, right, and anything goes, what if they pull the trigger on Solo, guys? What if they pull the trigger on Solo finally? Jay and Roman are both down. Solo comes down to the ring, or gets in the ring if he's already out there. You know, he comes down, he gets in the ring. He spikes them both. He stacks them both. He pins them both. 1, 2, 3. With none other than Paul Heyman making the count of the 1, 2, 3. Paul grabs the mic. He's like, we've spoken with the tribal elders. We've spoken with Adam Pearce or Triple H, whoever you want to consider like the head honcho in charge they would need to speak to person. And since this is tribal combat, anything, emphasis on anything, sorry, I'm struggling with that, emphasis on anything goes. So, Solo is declared a legal participant and is the victor of this battle. And Solo is your new tribal chief. Do I think that happens? No, but it would be a cool twist that I don't think a lot of people see coming. Since I did my recordings for the video, they have announced the Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royal. Don't have a whole lot of time to go over that one. We don't know all the people on it. We know LA Knight, Sheamus, I think Nakamura, and Tommaso. I mean, you would think they were going for an LA Knight win here. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. If we knew all the people, it would be a little better. Because maybe they have a little surprise return or something that comes into it. But who knows? I do think a cool thing to make some of the fans happy, because a lot of people were on the LA Knight train and wanting him to be U.S. champion, and he didn't win the matches to get into it. So maybe he wins and calls Theory out. Hey, I want a title shot. Also was thinking like, hey, maybe this is a good time for them to debut someone like Braun Breaker on the main roster, but I didn't realize he was in a feud with someone on NXT right now. So I doubt they do that, but you never know. They do like to do debuts and returns. Well, I guess more so returns at SummerSlam. So, and speaking of returns, there's a lot of rumors going around about Bray Wyatt maybe coming back here at SummerSlam, and I mean I could see it. I don't really want him feud. I don't know who I'd want him to feud with. A lot of speculation is on Cody. And I mean, I could get behind that, but I don't know at this point with Bray. I just don't know at this point. Last thing I want to touch base on real quick is The Rock coming back. There's some rumors of The Rock returning maybe at SummerSlam. I really don't know about that though. I mean, I guess it's a better time than any, but we'll see. That's going to wrap it up for the predictions and thoughts SummerSlam 2023 video. If you happen to watch through the whole thing, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave your comments down below on your thoughts and predictions. Like, even if you didn't watch the full video, like, if you only watched your match you wanted to see's prediction, let me know what you think. We'll be back with more. Ow!